Chairman Chen, distinguished guests, I see many ambassadors here. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I want to thank the Prospect Foundation for giving me the opportunity to present to you in this occasion our idea and the measures we are taking on the new Southbound policy of Taiwan. Before I start to make my presentation, of course, I need to thank the Prospect Foundation for organizing this event. Dr. Chen and his staff certainly worked very hard to make sure that all the participants are treated very well. I also want to welcome those who travel from very far to attend this event. Your contributions are very important to us. Wish you also have some extra time to enjoy Taipei, a very well-known, friendly city, and to do some serious shopping. As President Tsai mentioned in her National Day speech yesterday and today's speech earlier, Taiwan plays an irreplaceable role in the peace, stability, and the prosperity of the Asia-Pacific. Based on our shared commitment to democracy and freedom, we have engaged in close cooperation with like-minded countries in the region. President Tsai also stated that faced with rapidly changing Asia-Pacific region, Taiwan is ready to play a more important role in shaping regional prosperity and stability. Now, I would like to start my presentation with the goals of the new Southbound policy. Based on those principles, our goal is to participate in regional development by applying Taiwan's soft power in the field of agriculture, education, tourism, technology, medicine, and culture. Reasons are quite obvious. Taiwan is a medium-sized country whose strengths are based on the examples it established. We realize that private sectors and business communities possess very rich experiences and many talents. Therefore, it is vital to build momentum and magnified impact through cooperation with private sectors. Our approach is to design customized programs to promote regional development and cooperate closely with our partner countries. Many of you may be aware of the fact that Taiwan over the years has developed very close connections with our new Southbound policy partners. This region is an important destination for investment by Taiwanese business. Around 10,000 Taiwanese businesses have invested at least US 100 billion and created around 4 million jobs opportunities. Currently, there are more than 1 million people come from Southeast Asia to Taiwan to live, work, and study in Taiwan. We welcome their decisions, and we work very hard to take good care of them. In the past years, there were many young people coming to Taiwan for their college, higher education. Many of them later become engineers, teachers, medical doctors, business owners in their country. They form very important social backbones for their countries. You can easily find an active Taiwan Alumni Association in a major city in Southeast Asia. There are about 2 million tourists from Taiwan visit New Southbound policy countries every year.
Here, we run tourist deficit, but we know Southeast Asia and East Asia countries are beautiful countries. So we understand why there are so many tourists that wants to go
visit there. Regarding the resources, we have assembled several programs to support our related activities. Central government has allocated US $250 million
in 2018.
Also, in order to provide our business communities with sufficient financial support, we also increase US $1.7 billion additional government guarantee facilities to our small business if they cannot find
enough collaterals where they want to engage
in Southeast Asia. We also appropriate US $3.5 billion to support the engagement of Taiwanese construction industry
in partner countries, which this also mentioned by President earlier
in her speech. Our statistics indicate that from May 2016 to August 2017, for the duration of the New Southbound policy, an increase of 155 major investments cases totaling US $5 billion have invested in the region from Taiwan. We expect an estimate increase of US $7 billion
in 2017. Although I work for the government, I have to tell you that this is underestimated. Many investment cases were unreported. And we only ask the investors whose investment must be higher than certain number that they need to report to government. So many small investment and investment go through third country were not included here.
Let me turn to the investment from New Southbound policy countries to Taiwan. In the same period, there is an increase of 681 investment totaling 33 million
are coming from Southeast Asia countries to Taiwan.
The number is
small, but cases are large. That means most of them are small operation here, but we work on them.
At the last part of my presentation, I would like to address some of the key areas of this policy. On the regional agricultural development, our goal is to improve the production efficiency of partner countries by utilizing Taiwan's agricultural development experiences. We will combine the government's capabilities on research, production, and marketing skills to attract the interest of business to invest in agricultural cooperation. Our goal is to help raise farmers' income, particularly small farmers, through the experiences we accumulate in past years. On the area of medical and public health cooperation, we plan to establish a cooperation platform for national medical and public health authorities in order to improve the regional joint epidemic prevention network for foreign-specific and common epidemic diseases. We will promote regional cooperation for the medical and public health-related industry and upgrade the medical service capabilities in the region. On the human resources development, which this part also mentioned quite heavily by President this morning, we will work with colleges and industries to provide internship and on-the-job training for foreign students so that they gain real-world experiences relevant to their career. We also will double our scholarship by 2020 to help the young people from the region to gain education opportunities in Taiwan. On the industrial innovation and cooperation, we will work with our partners to assist industries that focus on both innovation and system integration, such as industries related to solar power, smart city, green transportation, so that technology can be
transferred to local companies. On assistance building of infrastructure for those needed country, we have developed an official development assistance program to support our partner countries in financing infrastructure and major development projects. This will also enable both Taiwan's private sectors and government agencies to become more globalized. At my conclusion, according to several major international economic forecasts, Southeast Asia countries will enjoy robust economic performances in the foreseeable future. We have full confidence that through better cooperation, this region will be one of the most shining spots in the world. We hope all the countries, developed or developing, can join us in our efforts outlined in Taiwan's new Southbound policy. Taiwan government will continue to work with all the countries aiming to improve the region's agricultural productivity, medical care standard, education, industrial cooperation, and poverty reduction so that we can have a better world. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Minister Deng. And now we would like to welcome the panelists for this session, session 1, to come up to the stage as we are beginning to start our first session.
We have 2-minute sessions for this one. So for both the economics, which focus on the supply chain cooperation, and for the agriculture side, that is on the how the technology can help the agriculture development. And the fusion of those two are very interesting, especially in terms of how the Taiwan and the Southbound target states, their interests and also the thing that we can provide. And we are very honored to have Vice Minister of Economic Affairs, Ms. Wang Mei-hua, and also another Vice Minister for Agricultural Affairs, Mr. Chen-chung. Both of them to moderate the session. So first, we would like to invite Dr. Wang Mei-hua, our Vice Minister for Economic Affairs, to moderate the first mini economic session. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning. His Excellency Chairman Chen of the Prospect Foundation, His Excellency Minister without Portfolio John Deng, and the Dr. Jin-Chen Huang, the Deputy Minister, the Council of Agriculture, and our distinguished guests. It's my honor to be the moderator of this section. In this session, there are 2 topics of our discussion. The first is concerning the cooperation and innovation, and will be moderated by myself. And the second is the technology exchange in Asia, agriculture and sustainable development, moderated by Dr. Huang. I have 5 minutes. So for the first topic, it's my privilege to have the 4 panelists join us. They are Indonesia Deputy Minister of the Infrastructure Acceleration and Regional Development, Coordinating Ministry of Economic Affairs, so long titles. The Dr. Wang Otomo. And the second is the Vice Chairman of the Thai Chamber of Commerce, the Mr. Yang. And the third is the Vice President of the Federation of Malaysia Manufacturers, Dr. Andy Xiao. And the last one is the Secretary General of the Chinese International Economic Cooperation Association. They are all well recognized for their contribution to their respective governments and industries. They will share their valuable views later. For our new Southbound policy, this year I visit Indonesia, Vietnam, Thailand, Malaysia, and India. These are all rewarding trips. They are vibrant and thriving countries that had great growth potential based on their young demographic structures. In noting the trend and opportunities while we are promoting the new Southbound policy, my ministry has conducted analysis on the economic development and needs of these partner countries, and more importantly, on how we can work together for a better future. Concerning the industry cooperation, you see Taiwan is a very unique and very special country. We are so small, but we have very intensive population. And most important is we have very good, high quality manufacturing sectors, which stand in a very important supply chain in the world. For example, in the ICT, in the semiconductor, in the machinery, bicycle, in the fabric industry, car parts, so on. And to be one of the most important work in the Southbound policy, how to better cooperation with those target countries is our very important work. And compared with other countries, Taiwan manufacturing industry have a very, very good niche. That is, we not only provide a high quality product, but also we can provide a very good, flexible production. We not only can provide the mass production, we also can provide the very special small parts of the production for the different kind of the company. That specialty can show us we are not the good manufacturing industry, but also have the good services. This culture not only reflect in our SME industry, but also reflect in our big company. For example, last week I just heard a story. Our TSMC, you know, the biggest one of the semiconductor company. TSMC not only provided the mass production for the their partner, their customer, but a small company also told me they ask for a very good semiconductor. They ask Intel, the Samsung can provide the small parts of the production or not. They say, oh, we just can provide the mass production. But our TSMC say, no problem, we can provide you such kind of the special small parts products. So that is our culture. I think that kind of the culture, we can have the good cooperation with the many Southeast Asia countries and the South Asia countries. So I think that is the niche for the cooperation between the Taiwan and those target countries. So how to promote the industrial cooperation? We have, for example, we have two work we already done. For example, the first one is to facilitate the industrial development of the target countries and enhance the cooperation. We have held several industrial collaboration summits this year. And One is in Kaohsiung City with the kind assistance from the Indonesia. And the second summit were also held in Bangkok, and the third one in Manila. The next one is will be held soon in Malaysia. So we have generated the good result from the summit. As I know, there are several cooperative projects underway, and I hope that more projects could be materialized soon. And another work is to help our friends better understand Taiwan. We also held the Taiwan Expo already in Indonesia, in Vietnam, and the Philippines. Furthermore, in order to build a friendly environment for the Muslim community in Taiwan, we established the Taiwan Halal Center in April this year. The center also helped our industry know about the halal products and acquire the certification. So the above actions show that we are committed to build a long-term partnership and establishing the mutual prosperity with you. We will double our efforts in the coming year. So this is my opening overview on this topic. So next, I would like to invite the Dr. Wahyu Utomo, the Deputy Minister from Indonesia, to share with us his thoughts. Please, Dr. Wahyu. Okay. You can see here. You can see here.
Thank you, Ms. Wang. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to thank you for inviting me, especially goes to Prospect Foundation. Today, actually, I would like to present our response to the new Southbound policy, and I will talk about infrastructure and special economic zone, which is, I think, this is the area, or this is a kind of opportunity for Taiwan and Indonesia to improve our cooperation. In our presentation, I would like to start with the condition of Indonesia. Indonesia right now already reached the investment grade. All the rating agency, international rating agency, already put Indonesia as an investment grade. And our ranking also in ease of doing business and global competitive index is also increased from last year. However, we still believe that infrastructure in Indonesia is still behind compared to the other countries. So in this term, we would like to improve our infrastructure, because I believe with the infrastructure, we also can improve the industrial sector in Indonesia. This is actually the infrastructure performance of Indonesia compared to the other countries, and you can see that Indonesia mostly behind of other countries. However, in the economic growth, we can reach mostly above 5% every year, and I believe that this can be also improved in the future year. Okay. So based on this condition, the government actually already planned to develop more infrastructure. And from this slide, you can see that we would like to develop infrastructure related to the logistic related and also energy related. This plan is actually for 5 years from 2016 to 2019. And actually, we also try to more focus. We select only 245 projects, which is, I believe that this project can give more impact to our economy, also to regional economy. From this slide, you can see the distribution of infrastructure development in Indonesia, and it covers 15 sectors and also 2 programs, which is one program is very related to the industrial sector, the electricity power. And the total amount that we actually need is about 325 billion US dollar. And of course, we cannot fulfill using our budget itself, but also we would like to open with the private sector. It could be executed using a PPP, public-private partnership approach. And you can see here the 5 sectors with the highest investment is in energy sector, electricity, road, train, and also special economic zone or industrial estate. Okay, I will jump to this picture. I hope you can see also in your material. I would like to show here that related to the regional development, the government already established a special economic zone. And you can see here the distribution of special economic zone is not only in Java Island, but also out of Java, because we would like to distribute our economic development, not only focusing on Java, but also in Kalimantan, Sulawesi, and other Sumatra, and also other part of Indonesia. And you can see here from this picture, there are special economic zone, there are industrial estate, and also tourism area that we would like to develop. Because if we talk about industry, we are not only talking about the machinery industry, but also tourism industry. Now, I would like also to show you, related to the special economic zone, actually we already come up with the alternative that the private sector can participate in special economic zone. First is as a tenant or investor to the special economic zone. The second is the private sector can also invest in the operation of special economic zone. And also the third form is the investment as a supporting infrastructure provider. So this is the area that maybe a private sector can participate in our special economic zone. And to improve or to attract more private sector in special economic zone, the government also already issued the government regulation in 2015, which is in this picture. You can see there are several incentives from the government related to the income tax reduction or investment allowance. And I would like to let you know that there are around 11 incentives that already provided from the government to increase or improve or to attract more private sector to build the special economic zone. For example, the corporate income tax, value-added tax, import duties, negative list, business license, and so on, until land title. So this is the, I think there are so many effort from the government already provided for the private sector to attract more private in developing the SEZ Indonesia. I just want to tell one example because the limitation of time. Sorry. Okay. In corporate income tax, there are 2 categories, which is this is a primary industry. You can this is called as a tax holiday, and also other than primary industry, we call as a tax allowance. In the primary industry, there are several area or several categories also. There are a reduction 20 to 100% for 10 to 25 years if the investment is above 1 trillion rupiah or US dollar to 77 million. But reduction 20 to 100% only for 5 and 50 up until 15 years if the investment is between 500 billion to 1 trillion rupiah. And also reduction 20 to 100% for 5 to 15 years if the investment is between 500 billion rupiah or below 500 billion rupiah. And you also can see here there are a tax allowance, and it is also related to the amount of the investment. Okay. So if this is the, related to SEZ, you can see also the detailed incentive that already given by the government. And I would like to tell you also, this is the area of the SEZ in Indonesia right now. there are already 11 special economic zones already put in Indonesia right now. And so far, just only 4 special economic zones which is already operated. One is Semangke in North Sumatra, Tanjung Lesung in West Java, Mandalika in Nusa Tenggara Barat, or West Nusa Tenggara, and Palu in Central Sulawesi. And you can see here that 2 of them are tourism. Mandalika and Tanjung Lesung is tourism, but for the other is industrial. Okay. 2 things that I want to tell you also in this very important event is, not this one, sorry. No. It's 26. What page is that? Okay, but I want to tell you that Indonesia actually already start with the economic policy package. The Indonesia economic package, yeah, this one. There are already 16 economic packages already issued by the government. You can see here, related to special economic zone is policy package number 6. And this is that I already told you, there are several incentives already issued by the government to improve the private sector. And also in economic policy package number 12, this is related to ease of doing business. And also in policy package number 16, which is, this policy is actually try to simplify the process if the new company would like to establish Indonesia. And I think the implementation of this package is quite good. And I hope that the last package that we already is established, we will, I believe that it can also benefit to the private sector, because we would like to speed up the in giving the permit, and also would like to manage only in one roof or in one institution for all the permit that needed to establish the company. And lastly, I would like to tell you related to the infrastructure. This is just only the example of the project that we would like to develop in Indonesia. But I would like to show you that this is actually the example of the infrastructure project that still not constructed yet. And I believe this is the area that maybe private sector would like to work together with the government, or with the our state-owned enterprise or our private sector in Indonesia to develop the infrastructure project in Indonesia. And I think there are a lot of projects that still possible to be built together with a Taiwan company. And I would like to invite you, if you need more information related to the infrastructure, the list of the infrastructure, I will be happy to give more information. I think by that, I would like to stop my presentation, and I would like to discuss with you whenever you need more information. Thank you.
Thank you. The PowerPoint information is very comprehensive to introduce the full speed to develop the infrastructure development, and to introduce the special economic zone and incentive for the investment in Indonesia. And now I will quickly to move to the second panelist. The second one is Dr. Yang, the Vice Chairman of the Thai Chamber of Commerce, to introduce the Thai situation. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Wang. Very good morning. I representing the private sector, the Thai Chamber of Commerce and the Board of Trade Thailand is a non-profit organization. And first I'd like to briefly about our structure of our organization. The Board of Trade of Thailand is covered with the Thai Chamber of Commerce. We have wear two hats, the Chamber of Commerce in Bangkok, as well as the National Chamber. We also have covered the whole country, which we have 76 provisional chamber and 34 foreign chamber, including the one in Taiwan that's located in Thailand, which have a big number because Taiwan is the third largest investor in Thailand, just after Japan and the US. And we also have the 138 trade association, which cover just about every industry in Thailand. And all this, we have altogether over 100,000 enterprises as our member. And we also uniquely own and operate one of the largest and oldest private university called University of Thai Chamber of Commerce, which we value a lot about educational, and we attract so many foreign students. I think some from Taiwan as well, because many of the classes now offer in English, and we also have the Chinese center over all the way to PhD program. The other area that we also encouraging is the YEC, Young Entrepreneur Chamber of Commerce, which is have been established 2 years now, and they're going very strong. And we also have mentored them to, and many of them also have many new projects in terms of a startup. And all these 100,000 some enterprises, 98% are SME. I would say that more into the micro SME. And now I'd like to turn to the Thailand Eastern Economic Corridor, which is the flagship of this present government. It's probably the EC is probably the largest investment project in the ASEAN in terms of budget and area. It's covered in the eastern part of Thailand, with mainly Chonburi, Rayong, and Chanthaburi and Chachoengsao. We already have the eastern seaboard, economic seaboard industry that already is ongoing for in the past 30 years, and lots of industrial development in the eastern part of Thailand. And the total investment we estimated that is around 2 trillion baht, which is almost the same as 2 trillion Taiwan dollars. Mainly it's going to be involved with infrastructures. We're going to be developing the existing airport, which is already ongoing. This is going to be the third airport in the area, and this will be focused on maintenance and repair for all the aircraft for the regional. The major manufacturer already agree to set up the operation with Boeing or Airbus, and this airport would cater up to 15 million passengers a year, and will link up with the other two airports, which is the Suvarnabhumi Airport. Personally, would cater when it came to the maximum about 100 million passenger, and Don Mueang Airport also been expanding. This is the old airport, original airport, will be catering up to 25 million passenger. So all these three airports will be interconnected, and then with the high-speed train, so the traveling time linkage between all the three within 1 hour. So this is one of the major area, and then you can see that it also have the port facility, deep sea port. We have 3 deep sea port in the area, as well as the rail ring, the high-speed train, and the link up with road. So this is a strategic location that will be linking the region, because Thailand is strategically located. We have the most land link in ASEAN, and right in between the 2 major economies, which is India and China. The northern part of Thailand is only about 160 kilometers to the most southern part of China, which is Yunnan, and we can easily link with Taiwan and South Korea and Japan, because we have very much relationship that have been all along with Taiwan as the major trade partner and investment in Thailand. And so Thailand is strategically located as this region of ASEP, representing 1/3 of the world GDP, and is almost half of the world population. So this is a very important strategic location that we need to make sure that the Thailand Eastern Economic Corridor would be the gateway to link up the whole region. And the Eastern Economic Corridor, we also have targeted the industries, such as the next generation automotive. As Thailand today, we are one of the major automotive producer. We are producing up to 3 million cars, and some of them is almost 100% using local content. Because many manufacturers in Japan relocated their factory into Thailand. We are the world's largest export of producing of the 1-ton pickup truck, for instance. And we export more than half of the production overseas. And the smart electronic is also going to be focused in the area. With the medical care and wellness tourism is also the target industry. Food for the future. Thailand, of course, is well known in agriculture and food. So we will be focusing on food security, food safety, and food standard. For the automation and robotics, because Thailand, we are short of manpower at the moment. We are into the aging society. We are negative growth. So we would have to be developing into that in this industry to be able to support the new industry, aviation industry that I have mentioned, biochemical and petrochemical and eco-friendly. This is an area that we are very much take into the consideration when we developing with this industry. The digital of Thailand, we have declared Thailand 4.0. So this is something that the area that we have to move forward fast. And enables the service in lots of the development going to be put into the infrastructure and logistics, in research and development. This is very important. We're going to be putting more and more fund into this area and technology support services. And in terms of the trade 4.0 and the service 4.0, the smart trade platform, the trade 4.0 era, the operation under the smart trade platform, which will be facilitated and resume customer confidence. The most important is to reduce cost trading for entrepreneurs. For the service 4.0, we have the specific style, customized and personalized, and able to respond to in timely manner, interactive and responsive. Self-service through various devices. And the present government is really much focused on the public-private cooperation. As the private sector, we also taking to be the big stakeholders. For instance, the Ministry of Tourism and Sport are coming from, she is the Vice Chairman of the Thai Chamber of Commerce. So now the government have appointed her to be the Ministry of in charge of tourism, and also many other areas that the government would like to have the private sector participating to reducing the inequality and enhancing competitiveness workforce, as well as enhancing competitiveness. The four pillars that we are having the strategy is the good governance, innovation and productivity, talent and human capital development, as well as inclusiveness. And these are all the areas that the private sector today that we are work closely with the government, particularly with the Ministry of Commerce, Ministry of Industry, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Board of Investment, and focus a lot on tourism. And so this year we'll receiving about 32 million visitors. And Bangkok today have been placed as the world #1 popular destination, already on top ahead of London or Paris. So this is something that we are moving forward and would like to work closely with our colleagues in the region. Thank you.
Thank you for the very brief introduction of the Thailand. Before we know that Thailand is an excellent tourist destination. Now still the same. But Thailand also wants to promote the industrial development. And so the so-called the Thailand 4.0, the East Corridor economic zone, and to promote more about their own industry development. So we can, after the introduction, we can more understanding their policy. So next, we'll move to the introduce the Dr. Andy Shaw, the Vice President of the Federation of the Malaysia Manufacturers. Please, Dr. Shaw.
Thank you. Morning, Chairman of the Prospect Foundation, Dr. Chen, Honorable Minister, Mr. Don Chen, Moderator, and Honorable Minister, Vice Minister, Ms. Wang. Yang bahagia, Datuk Adeline Leong, our President and Representative, Head of Mission in Malaysia Friendship and Trade Center in Taiwan, Honorable Ministers, Foreign Dignitaries, distinguished guests and speakers, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is a great pleasure for me and a privilege for me to be personally invited to this important inaugural Yushan Forum 2017. I'd like to thank and owe a great gratitude to Prospect Foundation for this kind invitation and also to speak. And also to make my stay in this beautiful, famous city of Taipei in Taiwan more enjoyable and memorable. Now, looking closer to this region, the market in ASEAN, China, India, and the surrounding economies, including Taiwan, offer opportunities for investment, trade, and business as infrastructure and development projects continue to be undertaken by governments of these countries. In addition, domestic consumer markets are also opening up following various trade cooperation initiatives, especially among ASEAN and its major trading partners. The Federation of Malaysian Manufacturers of which we represent almost 3,000 manufacturing and industrial service companies, I would like to share our experience and the knowledge and the opportunity of the new Southbound policy in driving regional supply chain cooperation and innovation. Already done. So ladies and gentlemen, coming from a country with a very small domestic market, similar to Taiwan, Malaysia has benefited very much from regional cooperation and supply chain connectivity, predominantly through trade and investment liberalization. Malaysia's economic growth and development has long been driven by international trade and foreign investment. Now, in the year 2016, Malaysia was the 26th largest trading nation in the world. In the same year, Malaysia's total trade was almost 68% of its GDP. Malaysia has entered into free trade FTA that not only opened new market opportunities for Malaysian products, but also made our product price competitive due to preferential duty treatment offered by our trading partners. Thus far, Malaysia has implemented 7 bilateral trade agreements and 6 regional trade agreements. 62.3% of Malaysia's total trade in 2016 was covered by this FTA. We are in the midst of negotiating the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership called R.O.C. As you are aware, the R.O.C, once it is concluded, will integrate ASEAN's 10 members with New Zealand, Australia, South Korea, India, Japan, and China. R.O.C potentially includes more than 3 billion people, or 45% of the world's population, and a combined GDP of about USD 21.3 trillion, accounting for about 40% of the world trade. Now, with the current uncertainty on the way forward for Trans-Pacific Partnership TPP agreement, which Malaysia is also party to, FMM is strongly advocating for the early conclusion of the R.O.C. Once finalized, hopefully by the end of this year, the R.O.C would be the world's largest free trade agreement. Ladies and gentlemen, currently, can I move to the next slide? Yeah. Currently, Taiwan is a major export market to Malaysian manufacturers. Taiwan is Malaysia's 4th investment partner and 8th largest trading partner in. Now, in 2016 alone, the total trade between Malaysia and Taiwan amount to USD 14.8 billion, encompassing almost 4.2% of Malaysia's total trade. Today, I believe there are more than 1,700 Taiwanese entrepreneurs, mainly in the steel and manufacturing sectors in Malaysia, including 22 listed companies with a cumulative investment of USD 12.3 billion as at the end of 2016. Malaysia, on the other hand, is Taiwan's 8th largest trading partner and 2nd largest trading partner in ASEAN after Singapore. Now, FMM undertook a survey to gather members' feedback on the areas of export interest to Malaysian companies and non-tariff barriers. In exporting to Taiwan, based on this survey, Malaysian manufacturers anticipate highly in free trade agreement with Taiwan. and wish to source raw materials and components from Taiwan. As Taiwan is not part of the ASEAN-China Free Trade Agreement and not member of RCEP or TPP, a bilateral trade arrangement with Taiwan, very similar to FTA signed by Taiwan with a few of the other countries, would be advantageous to both Malaysia and Taiwanese business. A bilateral FTA would represent an opportunity to have greater access to the FTA country market for goods and services, and to be able to sell at more competitive prices to its consumer. In addition, a clearly defined business environment creates increased opportunity for partnerships and industrial supply chain collaboration in promoted sectors such as machinery and equipment, food production, including the halal industry, steel, cosmetic, ICT, and moving towards Industry 4.0 on automation as well. I understand that these countries in RCEP accounts for 56.6% of Taiwan's total trade, while the countries in the TPP accounts for 35% of its trade. Further liberalization and internationalization through FTA with Malaysia and the other ASEAN countries will help Taiwan gain its admission to RCEP and TPP. Malaysia offers a good platform for Taiwan into this market. Ladies and gentlemen, as you are aware, Malaysia has long been a strategic regional transport corridor to support the growing trade volume in this region. Last year, the Prime Minister of Malaysia launched the National E-commerce Strategic Roadmap to double Malaysia's e-commerce growth rate and reach a GDP contribution of USD 47.68 billion by 2020. Now, in order to boost this roadmap, the Prime Minister of Malaysia, together with Jack Ma, founder of Executive Chairman of Alibaba Group, also launched the world's first digital free trade zone outside China in Malaysia. With that, there is growing emphasis on requirement for supply chain connectivity in Malaysia to boost Malaysia's logistic industry. Example, packages will be delivered within 72 hours to ASEAN countries. Now, DFTX will provide physical and virtual zones to facilitate SME to capitalize on the convergence of exponential growth of the internet economy and cross-border e-commerce activities. It will act as a good platform to support internet companies to trade goods, provide services, innovate, and co-create solutions. We urge Taiwanese firms to take full advantage of Malaysia's as well as ASEAN's robust digital space in order to expand its business further. Together with Malaysia's world-class transport facilities and supporting logistic growth as well. Now, data has shown that as a region, Southeast Asia has the highest smartphone penetration rate. In fact, we have more smartphone users who are constantly connected online here in this region, more than the entire Europe. Therefore, the opportunity to expand within the digital space is massive, and the better way to push it is through the DFTZ. Conclusion, let me say that I'm optimistic about how the economic relationship between our two countries will develop. Admittedly, the anti-globalization sentiment is giving cause for uncertainty and have put a damper on various developmental concerns. However, with Taiwan's new Southbound policy, we are likely to witness a shift towards greater economic cooperation agreements, be it bilateral or regional, with major ASEAN partners, including Malaysia. In this context, we can expect that the private sectors from both our economies will extensive opportunity to take advantage of this developing scenario. Chamber of Commerce such as FMM will continue to assist our business community to capitalize on the opportunity presented by closer collaboration, utilizing the policy to increase our presence in the global market. I anticipate that this forum will reach its aim in promoting joint regional economic cooperation, bringing it to a new development stage, and also setting a new direction and economic trade cooperation in this region. On this note, FMM is also separately jointly organizing with CNFI Taiwan, the Taiwan-Malaysia Industrial Collaboration Forum 2017 in Taichung in October 24th. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, I wish you all a very successful forum. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the very good introduction of the overall foreign trade situation in Malaysia and introduction of the relationship with the Malaysia and Taiwan. And before, we not only have a huge investment in Malaysia, recently we have some industry and company that have the e-commerce development in Malaysia very well. So hope if you want to have the e-commerce, please don't forget the Malaysia market. So next and the last in my section is the Mr. Frank Wu, the Secretary General of the CIECA, to introduce the Taiwan situation. Thank you.
Thank you. Your Excellency, former Philippine President Mr. Guayana, Deputy Minister Mr. Wang, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Secretary General of CIECA, Mr. Frank Wu. Today, our Chairman Henry Gao, due to some personal reason, he cannot come, so he asked me to present this very important forum. Before I would like to share his valuable opinion, I will let you know what is my organization, CIECA, 国际经济合作协会. CIECA was founded 1990, and founded by Jeffrey Gu Liansong. Our major tasks, we sponsored by the government, both Minister of Economic Affairs and Minister of Foreign Affairs. Our major task is to assist government bilateral economic relation. So we do have a lot of activities, and we have a lot of counterparts all over the world. Now we have counterpart in 96 countries in the world, more than 140 counterparts over the world. For example, today we focus on our Southeast Asia countries, so we have our counterpart in Indonesia. It's so-called Indonesia Chamber of Commerce Industry. It's CARDING. It's a very, very popular organization. In Malaysia, our counterpart is the National Chamber of Commerce Industry. It's NCCIM. In Philippines, our counterpart is Philippine Chamber of Commerce Industry. It's PCCI. This year, we organized delegation to Philippines on December 6th to 8th. We will focus on so-called green energy to negotiate with our counterpart and our Philippine businessmen. In Thailand, our counterpart is Federation of Thai Industry. This year, we have also organized delegation to Thailand. We focus on the 40-point industry. So we have a lot of people from Taiwan to talk with our Thailand businessmen. Even the end of this year, we are organized delegation to Myanmar. Our counterpart is the Republic of the Union of the Myanmar, Federation of Chamber of Commerce. This delegation will lead by Chairman of First Bank, 第一行的总裁蔡庆年. We will go from December 6th to 7th. Of course, we not just have a counterpart in Southeast Asia country. In Europe, even this week, we have several delegations come to Taiwan or go abroad. For example, today afternoon, JECA organized a so-called Joint Business Council meeting with our counterpart from India. There are around 70 Indian businessmen come to Taiwan, and today we have a so-called Joint Business Council meeting focused on electronic products. Will be organized at the Taipei International Convention Center on next Monday. Guest from Austria, they from smart machine businessmen. We will have Taiwan-Austria Joint Council Business Meeting also in Taipei International Convention Center. And, on next Wednesday, French businessmen focus on the smart city. They will be here in Taiwan. Both of these two events, our Deputy Minister, Ms. Wang, she will join and give our opening remarks. Okay. Now I would like to share you some of Henry Gao's value opinion about today's topic. His topic is regional supply chain cooperation and innovation. Ladies and gentlemen, please have a look at this picture. Taiwan investment in Southeast Asia in the last decades, 3 decades, around 120 billion to 150 billion have been invested in this region. The number 1 country is Vietnam. Number 2, Indonesia, 90%. Number 3, Thailand. Number 4, Malaysia. Number 5, Singapore. So for such a huge investment, it means Taiwan's economic power strengthened from Taiwan to all these Southeast Asia countries. Everybody knows Taiwan's economic power based on so-called industry cluster. The same situation, you know. From here, we would like to give you 2 examples. One is textile, the other one is motorcycle. Taiwan textile and apparel cluster now moving from Taiwan to mainland China, then now they move to Southeast Asia, you know. In the last decade, new major investment concentrated in Vietnam, while some expanded into Cambodia, Myanmar, under the strategy of Vietnam +1 model. It means you have a very big factory in Vietnam, but in order to keep flexibility, you set up the second one in the neighboring country. Increasing interest in Indian, as Indian gradually participate in a regional integration. Of course, Bangladesh, and Sri Lanka in Southeast Asia have also attracted some of the Taiwan small and medium enterprises. Please have a look at this. How is the Taiwan textile value chain so close, positive correlation with Vietnam textile? From these 2 tables, you can see Taiwan export to Vietnam, 94% is intermediate goods. from Taiwan to Vietnam after so-called Taiwanese factory production, then export to the world from Vietnam. Then something is a finished good. It's 89%. So that's the investment drive trade effect, linkage of FDI, import from Taiwan, and the Vietnam country's export. From next picture, you can see more strong positive correlation. The green line is Vietnam export to the whole world. The yellow line is Vietnam import from Taiwan. Of course, second example can be Taiwan participated in motorcycle and mobile parts. As of today, Taiwan centered cluster of bicycle, motorcycle, and automobile parts are established in Indonesia, Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, in cooperation with Japanese automobile maker or local manufacturer. Now let's look at some new southbound policy. One of the policy goals is to develop a regional value chain and enhance cooperation between Taiwan and the Southeast Asia country. There are three major points. First, enlarge scope application. It means we do have some other, agreement. We hope we have agreement with New Zealand can be applied also to some other Southeast Asia country. Second, two-way enlargement. Promote mutual partnership by focus the FDI outflows and export to include the two-way activities. Provide visa-free entry to target countries. Third, new investment approach. Transfer ASEAN's position as Taiwan's overseas assembling and re-export base to center of regional manufacturer network. Of course, today, ladies and gentlemen, how to conclude our today's forum. We have some point from Henry, how to move forward with our counterpart in the Southeast Asia country. First, history shows there are winners and losers when industry undergo transformational change, but there is no standing in the way of progress. Business community will need to put higher priority on kicking up technological change and taking advantage of moving up the supply chain. That's the very strong of Taiwan industry. Regional leaders have to focus on the sustainable and inclusive economic growth rather than their own prosperity. To the last, there are issues to be examined in the next wave of regional cooperation and connectivity. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a look what we should do. The regulation environment, first, international harmony of the regulation. Of course, there are more than 10 countries in Southeast Asia country. Still, there are a lot of different regulation need to harmonize. Second, cross-border data flows make equivalent services for every connected region. Third, data utilization rules and open data promotion. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, concerning the true volume of investments in the South Asia country. I tell you, my industry told me the real investment volume is much higher than the official statistic. I just can tell you the story, the conclusion, yes. So thank you. My warmest appreciation goes to the panelists for your precious insights. And let me hand in my job to the Dr. Wang for the next topic. Thank you.
Honorable Minister without portfolio, Mr. Deng, Vice Minister Wang, dear panelists, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is indeed my honor and pleasure to be the moderator for the topic of agricultural technology exchange and sustainable development in Asia region to cope with the challenge of climate and environmental change, and for the sake of agricultural sustainable development. All governments have been devoting to the investment of agriculture, R&D, and infrastructure, and the innovation and the application of new agricultural technology, as well as the enhancement of international cooperation and public-private partnership with the aim at promoting agricultural production and marketing, safeguarding food security, enhancing rural development, and raising the farmer incomes. In this regard, the Council of Agriculture has launched the new agriculture project since last year by establishing a new agriculture paradigm, constructing agriculture security system, and enhancing the marketing ability of agriculture. We have been devoting to enhancing the agriculture competitiveness and value with the aim at achieving the goal of sustainable agricultural development. For example, under the new agriculture project, we have established a new food security system paradigm through investigation of the carrying capacity of the land and the ecosystem with a scientific and systematic way in respect to the R&D and application of innovative technology. We had launched a whole year project entitled Smart Agriculture 4.0 with an investment of $70 million to accelerate the development of new technology for promoting sustainable development of agriculture. As for strengthening the public-private partnership, we has promoted the idea of industrial value chain by implementing related policies, such as the rehabilitation of fallow land, small land owner and big tenant farmers, young farmers, training and rural regeneration. Moreover, having recognized the importance of region prosperity and agricultural sustainable development, Taiwan government has been actively implementing the new Southbound policy since last year. One of its goals is to strengthen the link of agriculture-related industry with new Southbound countries, and to enhance the cooperation and exchange on the agricultural technology in this region by implementing the bilateral and mutually beneficial model Under the new Southbound policy, it is expected that the regional sustainable development and agriculture could be enhanced and a win-win situation will be reached. Before I invite our panelists to take the floor, please allow me to briefly introduce 3 issues which will be discussed during this section. Issue 1, the challenge and the opportunity of agricultural development in Asia. Issue 2, facing the challenge of global climate and environmental change. How can Asian countries safeguard the regional food security and the agricultural development by improving the agricultural technologies, enhancing the agricultural investment, and strengthening cooperation? Issue 3, how can Asian countries strengthen the public-private partnership in order to achieve the goal of coexistence and the sustainable development of Asian agriculture? Now, I wish to invite the panelists to provide their valuable comment and recommendation. First, I want to introduce Dr. Marco Opres, the Director General of All Vegetable Center. Dr. Opres is a Dutch national and received his PhD degree in tropical agronomy from the Wageningen University, Netherlands. He is the Director General of the All Vegetable Center based in Taiwan. Before to his current position, he served as the Deputy Director General of the Africa Rice Center. Now, the time is yours.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, very good morning to all of you, ladies and gentlemen. It's a true honor for me to be part of this prestigious forum, and I really would like to thank the Prospect Foundation for the kind invitation. I have about 10 minutes. Would like to cover 3 things. First, to make sure you're aware of what the World Vegetable Center is about. Then I would like to highlight why we're fortunate to have our headquarters here in Taiwan. And thirdly, I would like to highlight what we are doing to become a strong new Southbound policy partner. So let me first introduce a little bit the World Vegetable Center. If you can have the next slide, please. The World Vegetable Center was established as the Asian Vegetable Research and Development Center, AVRDC, and many of you maybe know the center by that name, in 1971, by 7 countries, all of them, I'm sure, in this room. Japan, Korea, Vietnam, Thailand, Taiwan, of course, Philippines, United States of America, and also by the Asian Development Bank. Lately, Germany has also joined our governance board. We are one of the 2 international research centers on agriculture in Taiwan, but we're the only one in the world that has a specific mandate to work on vegetables. And I think our mission statement that is there on the screen, realizing the potential of vegetables for healthier lives and more resilient livelihoods, could not be more relevant today. It's still relevant today as it was many years ago. Let me just focus on healthier lives. 2 billion people right now worldwide are suffering from undernutrition. 1 out of 4 children are stunted, and many of these children are in South Asia, Southeast Asia, and of course in Africa. Stunted children means their mental and physical potential will be stunted. They will never reach their full potential. That is unforgivable. There is also the other side of the coin. Problems of malnutrition when you look at problems of overweight and obesity. And bizarrely enough, there are even more people that have that problem, 2.1 billion people worldwide, than there are people that are undernourished. This 2nd Sustainable Development Goal of the United Nations wants us to eradicate malnutrition, both sides, by 2030. We'll have to do a huge effort to realize that, and vegetables will be part of the solution. Many people do not eat sufficient fruits and vegetables. Unbalanced diets are the main cause of malnutrition worldwide. There's also positive news about vegetables. They can be really very good economic generators of economic activity. You can make quick money out of relatively small surfaces of land when they're well equipped with, for example, drip irrigation or protected cultivation. So there are huge opportunities to respond to the growing demand for safe quality vegetables in urban areas with vegetables, huge opportunities for youth and women to gain meaningful employment and earn money. The World Vegetable Center's main technology is seed. We host the largest collection of vegetable germplasm in the world here in Taiwan. We have 60,000 accessions of 440 vegetable species, so not only tomato and pepper, but also kangkong or Malabar spinach, for example, from 151 countries. We accumulated that over the years since 1971, a huge treasure that can be used to breed varieties that are more resilient to climate change, and we are doing that. I'll come back to that. We also put this seed in different contexts, the context of malnutrition, to work with often women, poor households, mainly in Africa, but also in Southeast Asia, to teach them how they can grow vegetables and make them realize the importance of eating well in the household and, of course, for their children, especially children under 5. And we also put the seed in contexts where there are economic opportunities, employment opportunities. Many of this type of work we do in South Asia and Southeast Asia near urban centers, where there is a growing demand for safe, quality food. We have the ambition to lead these efforts. We are a research center, we publish good papers, but we want to have impact in the field. So we do a lot of work reaching out to what we call scaling partners to bring technologies to scale. So yes, we do a lot of work on technological innovation, but we also work on organizational innovations, bringing people together in a value chain context, looking at production, processing, and marketing, and also looking at institutional innovation. If you want to move forward, you need to look at technological innovation, organizational innovation, institutional innovation, institutional and policy innovation. Let me zoom into, this one doesn't seem to work. Doesn't work. Yeah. So next slide, please. Let me zoom into climate smart agriculture because it's an important topic today. And just as an illustration, we work with our partners from Taiwan and from the region and from many countries in the world on bringing drought and heat tolerance in, for example, tomato and pepper and other vegetable species that are commonly grown using this huge collection we have here in Taiwan, what we call the gene bank. It's this collection of what I just talked about, 60,000 accessions we have. And there are many wild relatives of tomato in the gene bank that have all kinds of hidden treasures. Some of them have drought tolerance, but they have awful fruit quality. But if we identify these wild relatives of tomato, we identify these, we can cross these wild relatives with commercially attractive tomatoes and come with new lines that are more heat tolerant or drought tolerant or insect resistant or disease resistant. And this is not a simple task. This requires huge experimental work on what we call phenotyping, understanding traits that are hidden in this big treasure box, and genotyping, understanding the genome of these different accessions we have here in Taiwan. And we are fortunate to be in Taiwan because there's huge scientific capacity that we can tap, and there's also huge scientific capacity in the region that we need to tap to get vegetables more ready to face the challenges of climate change. Grafting is another technology where we basically graft a tomato plant on an eggplant to make sure the combination is tolerant to flooding and soil diseases. And there are many ways to think of cropping systems improvement. For example, bringing traditional vegetables like kangkong or Malabar spinach or amaranth in production systems because they're often much more nutritious than your regular cabbage. Rain shelters, protected cultivation will help us deal with climate change because you bring vegetable cultivation in an environment that is shielded from erratic weather. And of course, integrated pest management, truly extremely important, because too often vegetables are bombarded with pesticides. Next slide, please. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you ever took the train, the high-speed train from Tainan to Taipei or vice versa, and looked out of the window. Well, I've done, and I've made videos of that view, and it's just amazing the number of hectares here in Taiwan under protected cultivation, netted protected cultivation. And there is a huge opportunity there to do more with that expertise that is here in Taiwan on protected cultivation, small-scale agricultural machinery, as the Honorable, His Excellency, the Vice President of the Philippines also said, food processing equipment, food safety issues, pesticide residue testing, quality seed and seedlings production, and of course scientific collaboration. We recently established the Taiwan Vegetable Innovation Consortium, bringing together the National Taiwan University, the National Chun-Sing University, Taiwan Agricultural Research Institute, and the World Vegetable Center to join hands and reach out to international partners to make sure we breed varieties better resistant to climate change, and to help together work on production, processing, and marketing issues to make sure farmers can grow vegetables, diversity in their farming systems, and make sure we find these vegetables on the plates of households, and in particular children. You see that our center covers Africa and Asia. We have regional centers in Taiwan. We have our headquarters in Taiwan. We have a regional center in Thailand, India, and we have also regional centers in Senegal, Mali, Benin, and Tanzania. So, come to my last point. What can we mean for the Southbound policy? So, we really want to be a strong partner there. First of all, I think our center should become a real open science center and really welcome all the brains that are in the Southbound policy countries to work with us hand in hand in Taiwan to work on breeding issues, genotyping, phenotyping issues, and many other more agronomy-related work we need to do to make sure the vegetables that are grown out there are going to be safe and production will be high, and we find these vegetables on the plates of consumers in all these countries. Open Science Center. The other one is we want to be a bridge between Taiwan and the Southbound policy countries, because we have a lot of local knowledge. We work in the region for more than 40 years. We have regional centers in Thailand, India. We have worked in many countries, as you can see in the region. I think we can serve as a bridge for Taiwan technology to be leveraged in all these countries. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Chairman, I would like to conclude. I hope you have a better idea of what the World Vegetable Center is about. I hope you understand why we're very happy to be in Taiwan with our headquarters, and how we want to be a very strong new Southbound policy partner. Thank you very much, and eat more vegetables.
Okay, Dr. Operates have introduced a very excellent job, including the seeding, breeding, and feeding. All of these technology, I think, can be used on new Southbound policy. Okay. Now, next, I wanted to introduce. Let me see the. Dr. Daddy Niu Xiangxi, right? Dr. Daddy, he is the director of Indonesian Center for Agriculture, Land, and Resource Research and Development from the Indonesia. Please.
Thank you, Chairman. Honorable guests from ASEAN or other countries. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. So, first of all, I would like to thank Taiwanese Council of Agriculture for inviting me to this very, very important event. As an introductory phase of this discussion, I would like to briefly describe the challenges faced by Indonesian agriculture. What are the technologies that have been developed for safeguarding food security, and what are opportunities for collaboration? Next, please. With over than 260 million population, food self-sufficiency is the main aim of our agricultural development. So until now, we have reached self-sufficiency in rice, maize, chili, and shallots. But there are big challenges ahead for increasing soybean, sugar, beet, and garlic production. Next. So the current government also have very big vision of feeding the world by 2045, and has targeted the year in which we can export several foods commodities. Of course, this is after achieving self-sufficiency and surplus for some commodities. Next. The main challenges for achieving food security targets include high rate of population growth of about 1.35% per year. It means that there is additions of about 3.37 million people annually in our country. And heavy rainfall intensity, intensive agriculture, particularly in slope areas, that lead to land degradation. Conversion of agriculture land also to non-agriculture use also is a reality in many of rice basket area, which slows down self-sufficiency target. Low investment and slow implementation of advanced technological innovations also lead to a gap. Climate change has led to short duration of initiation, higher intensity rainfall, low productivity of the onset of initiation, and higher temperature. All of which challenges us to implement climate-smart agriculture technologies to increase adaptability to the extreme climate. Next. There are three main strategies for addressing the future challenges here. So, intensification on irrigated rainfed, tidal swarm, and acid upland and semi-arid uplands areas. And also, extensification of agricultural land. Next, please. However, with this complicated seigneurial land status, labor availability problems, and environmental issues, which make extensifications a labor priority. Control of land conversion, which is also complicated. Due to high land rent for urban, industrial, and settlement development. Next, please. We have developed an integrating cropping calendar, which provide various recommendations at sub-district level, including planting time and areas for rice, and secondary for maize and soybean. Indication of fruit and drought-prone areas, recommendation of rice varieties and seed are common. Next. Fertilizer distribution recommendation, and monitoring of crop state, which can be used for production estimate. This is example for developing suitability maps at 150,000 scale. This is, for example, from District Tabanan, yeah, Bali Province. So the red one is not suitable, but the green one is suitable for soybean. Next. Yeah, this is, I mentioned already about integrated cropping calendar. Yeah. This is information system which can prepare some recommendation for agricultural rice, maize, and soybean in both seasons. In our country, actually, there are 2 seasons. It is dry and wet season. Next, please. This is distribution of high-yielding varieties, particularly for rice, in our country. Next. This is also, for example, amphibian rice variety. So we call it amphibian because of climate change. So dry season is more long. So it means that we need some varieties that tolerance to dry. But sometimes we have much condition. So that is why we have also developed some variety with tolerance to submerged conditions. Next. In developing agricultural rice, we have one technology, we call it Jarwo super technology. In Jarwo is rectangular spacing planting. In that approach, we have balanced fertilization using soil test kit, like that. Next. And then also in Jarwo Sulfa, there is variety, high-yielding variety. We call it Invari 30 and Invari 31. And then also in Jarwo Super, we have bio pesticide to reduce, of course, pest and disease. And also we develop also transplanter, specific for Jarwo, and then also harvested. Next. Of course, in developing agricultural rice also, we develop soil management and conservation. Next. But there is special condition, or we face a big challenge in promoting soybean, because national yield average is only around 1.2 ton per hectare, which makes soybean farming unattractive among farmers. Therefore, we need to develop high-yielding varieties, particularly for tropical area. We need to improve plant management system also, as well as improve marketing system. Next. We adopt farm machinery in accordance with the small-scale nature of rice farming. This includes the use of biodecomposer of rice straw, rice incorporation and paddling. And also, we develop rice transplanters, spacing for optimum use of solar radiation and for simple mating. In general, we have more yield under Jarwo than the conventional rectangular. So also we develop mechanization for agriculture, particularly for rice. So there is a hand tractor, which very useful for soil preparation. Next. And also rice transplanters, particularly for Jarwo. This is for seeding and also for transplanting. Next. And also power weeding machine. It is for controlling weed, solving labor, and then reduce weeding costs. Next. Yeah, I think that is all. So thank you very much for your attention.
Okay, Dr. Yushan has introduced the situation of agriculture in Indonesia. I think our expertise from the Council of Agriculture has involved in Indonesia agriculture. So I think that will be much better. And the third one, the third speaker, I will introduce the Jennifer Go, the General Manager of the Animal Health Research Institute of the Globist Group. Mr. Go received her master's degree of aquaculture department from the National Taiwan Ocean University. Please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Dr. Wang, and ladies and gentlemen, I'm Jennifer. On behalf of Globist, it's our pleasure to be here to share our what we do and our investment in Southeast Asian countries. So first, I would like to give you some background of our company. Globist is in the aquaculture business, and we only do aquaculture. So Globist first established the first factory in 1974 in Taiwan. So after that, we produce animal feed for eel, for shrimp, for more than 10 years. And then we expand our business to Southeast Asian countries. The first stop is the Philippines. So we have a feed mill in the Philippines near Manila. And after that, we went to Thailand, Indonesia, Vietnam, India, and also China. So today, Globist has become a leading brand in the agriculture industry, and our sales revenue for a year is about $850 million US, and we produce more than 600,000 tons of feed to the industry, which let me give you another number for comparison. The total feed production for Taiwan is 500,000 tons per year. So the Globist produces 600,000 tons feed in a year. So it's quite a large numbers. Okay. So speak of the our investment in Southeast Asian countries. We look back to the year of 1990s. We have suffered some bumps, but in the long term, we found that the investment environment in the South Asian countries are quite favorable for agriculture, for agriculture industry. So in these years, in recent years, like 10 years from now, and the agriculture industry suffered from a disease outbreak, and also the extreme climate affects the industry a lot. So at that time, we needed solutions, so we came back and we collaborated with the institute and universities in Taiwan, and we found some solutions. And then we take back to the industry, and we come up with the total solutions, which we think is potential for the industry to become sustainable. So from the perspective of the company, we think that the strong advantages of Taiwan is the technology. We have the leading technology in agriculture, and also we have so many talented people here. And we would like to share that because of the nature of agricultural industry, it requires large land, abundant water resource, and people, so many people. So we think that the agriculture would be a very good opportunity for Taiwanese companies to expand to Southeast Asian countries. Although we have suffered some from some disease problems and some climate challenges, but we still think that we have a lot of potential to expand. So in the future, not only grow-based, but also I think there are so many companies and also farmers here in Taiwan. They would like to expand to Southeast Asian countries. And we think that the most important is that different countries, they have different land policies, they have different investment regulations. So what we need is that we need some support from the agencies, from the government to acquire lands, and also we need to cooperate with universities in different countries to have more talented people to come together and to work together. We think that it is crucial that the Taiwanese staff to cooperate with local staffs to become a great team. This is crucial for a successful operation. So I would like to say many thanks to the chairman, the Perspection Foundation, and the Council of Agriculture to give us this opportunity to share what we see and what we look into in the future here. Thank you very much.
Okay, the Globist group is a big company in Taiwan, and they have invested in many countries in South Asia country. So Dr. Ko share her vision and documentation to everybody. I think this is very useful. After carefully listening to the valuable opinion and the comment of our panelists, I must do some conclusion. Conclusion one is, I'm sure you will all agree with me that the extreme climate has brought about frequently disaster in Asia region, and the safeguarding of food security and sustainable agriculture development have become inevitable challenge. The conclusion too is the government in the Asian region should therefore work together to improve the agriculture technology, enhance agriculture investment, and strengthen PPP cooperation. The conclusion three is Taiwan will continue to implement the new Southbound policy. It is expected that through our joint effort with new Southbound partner countries, the regional agriculture development will be enhanced and a win-win situation will be reached. Thank you, everybody.
So since we have a very limited time, I will look to the audience. Maybe we can have the one or two questions for our panel. Have any question from our audience? okay. My friend from Indonesia, here is a very fruitful and very comprehensive presentation. Maybe if you have any question, you can ask for the email. Email will on the last slides of the presentation. So since I have no questions, I will conclude. Taiwan is a very important member of the Asia region countries. So we are willing to contribute to these areas' economic development. And Taiwan, we will want to be the partnership with those countries. So finally, I deeply appreciate the insightful presentation from our four panelists, and as well as the participation and the suggestion from the panels. So maybe I would like to hand in the last conclusion with our Mr. Wang.
I had to three conclusion earlier, but I still want to say if anybody have any question on the agriculture, please contact with us, Council of Agriculture, or can discuss with our three panelists. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. I will. I hope this forum will proceed smoothly and successfully. And so now, may I request the audience to give our panelists a big applause. Thank you. Thank you very much.